Well, Brett Cooper, we're so excited to have you on the show. You have been such a big voice in the young conservative space. But tell me a little bit about you. How'd you end up here?
I was a child actor, and during COVID, I realized that I had just kind of been completely alienated from the rest of my industry due to the values that I was raised with. And so I did what every confused English major does. And I was like, I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to do constitutional law because I had gotten really engaged in politics. I had been canceled by my friends at UCLA. I started working for PragerU. The amazing team over there kind of brought me in. They quickly realized I was good on camera and I had 10 years of experience. So I started doing videos for them. And then randomly one day got a DM from Daily Wire and they were like, do you want to start a show? And so I did the comment section. After 3 years, we had hit 4.5 million subscribers. And then this year stepped out on my own. So we have our own channel now and growing our own business. So it's just been a wild ride.
What's amazing to me is that you attribute your conservative values to your upbringing. I think there are so many families out there who say, look, I'm trying to raise my kids with these values, but you send them off to a UCLA and you don't know what happens.
At home too, like over the dinner table, we would debate and discuss. And I wasn't just in an echo chamber, and I think that is incredibly important. I had a very rooted sense of self. I was homeschooled. I spent a lot of time thinking critically about the world. I think that is like the number one thing I would tell parents is that it's not about policies and the news and current events so much as it is about who are the types of people that you're raising and what principles are you instilling in them.
The younger generation really turns to you. Why do you think that is?
A huge part of it is just speaking to them where they're at and meeting them where they're at. I know from my experience that I was tired of being preached at by both sides, really. I do hope to foster understanding. And so I think that that brought a lot of people in who at first glance would not want to listen to a conservative. I don't expect you to agree with me, or I don't hope to change your mind, but I do hope that you leave my videos, that you interact with my content, and that you feel like you have a better understanding of what somebody across the aisle believes. I think it's good to look at the world through a humorous light. So I think it's a combination of all those things.
This past election, though, we did see a very big shift with young voters. They came out and voted for President Trump. What do you attribute that to?
The left was positioning themselves as, raging against the machine. I think my generation finally woke up and went, oh, we own every political office and we own every corporation and Hollywood. Like, this doesn't really feel edgy anymore. And I also think we're looking at the world, we're thinking about starting families, buying homes, going into the workforce, and everything seemed so doom and gloom. And President Trump was completely just disrupting the system. I think that after so many years of failed promises from the left and Democrats, which captures young people more often than not, I think they were just ready for something new.
Is it cool now to be a Republican?
Oh, for sure. It's incredibly cool in my opinion. It's so crazy. Even just being here in Nashville, a couple of years ago, I still felt iffy about like wearing a MAGA hat out. Now it's like totally cool.
Wow.
It's normal. It's still incredible that the New York Magazine was giving us that kind of attention and that we were making such a splash. They're like, these people they're kind of cool. Like, this is like an elite crowd. So the culture has definitely shifted. The way the media is portraying us has definitely shifted, which is definitely helping.
President Trump was certainly paramount, I think, in starting that shift with a younger generation of voters coming over to the Republican side. But everybody wants to know, how do we keep those people?
I think that it really comes down to delivering on promises, like truly, because there has been such betrayal in my eyes, especially on the left. And I think that's why so many people kind of like dipped their toe in the water and they're like, okay, I'll give it a try. I mean, even down to Democrats not being given a voice in who their candidate ended up being in 2024. I think that was enough to push people over the edge. And so I think it's on Republicans to do the work and move things forward and make things tangibly change for young people. And I also think we need to continue having conversations like this and that independent media needs to continue growing. So it's, culture and policy working hand in hand and giving tangible change to young people who desperately need it.
In terms of the Gen Z voters, do you think the Democrat Party has done irreparable damage to themselves, or is there an opportunity for them to come back?
I think that there's an opportunity for them to come back, but it's not going to be fast. I think that they are trying to reverse engineer what Republicans did very authentically. This is why you have the Gavin Newsom podcast. He's alienating his base because they know he's not being genuine. He's not bringing conservatives over because they're looking at him and going, what are you even doing? I think that they have been so calculated in all of their attempts. And what worked in 2024 was Republicans saying, we're throwing the book out. And I think Democrats have their work cut out for them because you can't fake that. You can't make Gavin Newsom suddenly likable.
Give me your take on how the shift in how people are consuming media has impacted our elections now and in the future, and do you think that's going to play an even bigger role coming up?
Oh, I think it will, absolutely. And I'm very interested to see how legacy media has to adapt, because they certainly do, because there is such a loss of trust in the mainstream media. People had lost trust in them. They looked for other sources of information, which came from the podcasting boom. It comes from, we always talk about Joe Rogan, but for good reason. You can't go in there and have a approved list of questions, and people see that and they feel that, and there's that human connection. And so I think he really pioneered it in a major way and gave all of us who are now independent creators the opportunity to grow. I think Elon Musk did an amazing thing buying X and making us the media. And so it just became a phenomenon that you just couldn't stop. And I think that it is now up to the mainstream media to figure out how to adapt. You have to follow truth and follow what audiences are actually wanting. They want somebody talking to them as a normal human being and not BSing them. And that's where independent media came into play.
I wonder how you feel about the new setup at the White House in the press briefing room, where they've made accommodations for podcasters, for independent journalists.
The podcast row last week was amazing. I mean, that's never happened before. Caroline Levitt is doing just an incredible job. And I think it's also forcing those mainstream media outlets to, again, just reconcile even more with the fact that we're here. We're not going anywhere. We are actually trusted more than you. We're going to sit right next to you. Our questions are going to be answered. And I think it's a really great opportunity for a meeting of the minds and just being on the same playing field. But I think it's so great. And I'm really grateful for President Trump for helping usher that in.
Trump 2.0, how do you rate what's going on? What have been your favorite things so far?
I've been super excited. I feel like every week I'm like, this is just gets better and better, basically. Especially all the executive orders just out of the gate. I think it really reaffirmed to voters that it's like, I hear you. He is speaking directly to the American people through every single one of those actions. And so as a voter of his, I was like, this is everything from, men and women's sports to the Department of Education. I mean, it was like, this is exactly what I voted for. It's radical transparency. I think as time goes on and he continues to, work to make this country better for us, I think it's just going to keep Gen Z happier and happier, because we're going to feel that tangible change, and it's already starting to happen. Regardless of what happens, his legacy is unparalleled, and it'll be really important whatever happens next.
Brett Cooper, thank you so much for sitting down with us. You've been just such a great voice, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.